Let this Station Mana Downtime session begin. Today we're with Qrudharkak in his also
Hello.
shabby abode. Hi.
Hi.
What would you say Qrudharkak does in most of his downtime?
Oof. Well, uh, start. Most of his free time is recording whatever new information he found out regarding space rifts. Since we're starting in my solo person like abode room, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Around, you wouldn't notice the typical stuff that most rooms would have. Like, there's no actual mirror, there are no toothbrushes, there's no stuff like that because using his conjuring thing, he just makes them.
Yeah.
So he wakes up, poof, a mirror, looks at himself, prestidigitation, prestidigitation. Being a wizard is fucking A.
Yeah, just the most chillest experience ever.
Yeah. But what there is there are a lot of scrolls, a lot of I wouldn't call them 3D models because I don't know if you could actually make those on Station Mana, but at least blueprints or sketches of what a possible Rift engine could
I mean,
hypothetically look like.
let me
Uh,
point
uh,
this thing out.
yes.
In the universe, there's not really engines. Everything's powered through
Uh,
magic. And so the word Rift Engine is actually quite confusing for Crud.
Oh,
Because
I know, I understand that. I'm not saying that those are actual engines.
yeah.
I'm saying those are sketches of possible artifacts and how Crud would imagine uh, possibly an artifact that condenses energy from several sources, possibly like an artifact that passes basically a hadron collider,
Fair
but with
enough.
magic and stuff like that. I'm not saying that he has like models for Mercedes 5-liter engine.
Yeah. Yeah, and Killy is somewhere over there.
She sleeps on the floor, but she does have like a mattress and a blanket. Crud doesn't necessarily respect her openly, but he doesn't treat her like a slave or a pet.
Yeah.
Like, she has her own possessions and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's
He,
the armor stall that in Crud's apartment that's generally empty for him. It's not just filled with fucking heavy armor.
yeah, yeah, that takes up most of the locker
Yeah.
at the very least.
The bottom
Uh,
of the locker. Because neither of you
yeah.
can reach the top.
I mean, I can conjure up a step ladder.
Yeah.
Again, being a wizard, fucking A.
Yeah, so we're having a scene here. It's about midday. Crud is having a cup of tea, and Killy has probably made the tea or at least went and got some outside.
Now, about this, I was contemplating whether or not I wanted Killy to be like a servant or not. Because hypothetically, I could just ritual summon an unseen servant and fully ignore her. She could be doing her own stuff. Like, what can I do, sir? Study.
No,
Unseen servant does all this stuff I need.
no. She went out to get some tea for herself, and she brought some for you as well.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean,
Uh,
you're colleagues. You're not pet and master.
yeah, yeah.
So
Again,
she's just
uh,
apprenticing under you for now.
fair enough. There's like a table in the room, I presume.
Not
Like a
really
desk.
much
More,
room, but since you're both small, yeah,
yeah, more like a desk, a small desk, which is enough for 1.5 halfling-sized per people. Uh, I have my half, which has my. If there is a shelf, the shelf is filled with at least 8 thick books, like my continuous series of research in space rifts. The first three books are just hypotheses, nothing more, just speculations and stuff like that.
Yeah,
the theories.
You've probably not looked at those books in a while, considering you look at them now and everything's just wrong. Everything
Indeed.
is just garbage.
But it's still part of research. Like, you never start research knowing that you're right. So those books are still there. I'm not scrapping them just yet. The next three books are perhaps some possible experiment. I would
say it's after you arrived on the station.
Yeah, further information. But the last book, now that's the juicy part. That's where I started getting actual information from people that actually knew stuff. Specifically that one guy that returned the dude from the dead. Keep forgetting his name.
His name was Juracia, and he was an ionic drifter, basically a time traveler with no like actual way to control it.
Exactly. So now that book, that's the book he's working on.
Yeah, you're like writing down some long ass theory or something, and Killy is like looking at, like, holding your spell book in hers and just studying there carefully. Like,
yes,
each room.
Exactly that. And there are notes next to some of the spells, like scribbled by Qrudharkak, like this spell I would prefer you'd learn, and it's like the mending cantrip. Next to the floating disc ritual spell, there's a rather bold note saying, "You have to learn this."
Right. Yeah. And she's just like inscribing the runes in her spellbook, and she looks over at you. Do you have any peers in studying these rifts?
I actually think I don't.
You do not. You are Qrudharkak, come on.
Yeah. Firstly, I don't respect enough people for there to be a lot of peers for anything in my sphere. Mm-hmm. Secondly, most morons that I have tried to approach for some information actually decided that the subject at hand was too lunatic, too out of reach.
It could be a bit heretical, yeah.
That's even worse. The religious cucks. So yeah, purely solo on this, scrabbling with what my great mind can in this disappointingly intellectually not so vast world.
You could. She's like writing down like carefully inscribing each rune for floating disc. Have you tried looking at others' research? You don't have to talk to them to do that.
I have tried, but it seems that not too many.
Yeah, you tried on Tokta, and
yeah, but Tokta isn't really big on like research and arcana overall, I would say. Like the races that live there are like magical, but they're not magically advanced, I would say.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Like if I was in an elf world, I would have more luck there. But Tokta, especially in the region I lived in or nearby, there weren't many libraries per se.
Yeah, you were just living with kobold tribes.
Exactly, which were then enslaved and mostly killed.
Yeah, but on Tokta, maybe the capital and a few other cities, but where hobgoblins and goblins mostly are. I mean, half-orcs are also often proficient in magics. They don't tend to study them, but they can. Mandrakes,
Yeah.
Minotaurs, no.
Oh, toothpick skull, toothpick skull.
There's the odd case, but yeah.
The problem is that most residents of Togda are just physically directed, let's say. They don't tend to focus on... how should I say? If they can know, and they can know their craft, magical craft, rather well, but they're not the type to actually write, just write.
Yeah, so unless they're like a sorcerer, they're rarely gonna put years of their life into studying. If they can just pick up a giant axe and murder eyes.
I would say that when I reach Station Mana, if there is any sort of... Like, does Station Mana even have a library of its own? Cause...
It does have a library, but it's not really, like, research-oriented around here.
Fair enough.
There's the scholars, but yeah, most people that are scholars work in the same way you do.
Alone.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So, yeah, tried but unsuccessful, mostly.
She's like writing. Fair. I mean, maybe it's an avenue worth exploring. Have you made any great leaps, Reed? You know.
Well, the biggest leap was my travel towards when we were sent to save some lost colleagues. That resulted in a meeting with a rather interesting creature who shared quite the detailed information on the origins of space drifts, at the very least. Sadly, I could not enjoy my time and ask more questions, parentheses, due to the GM not wanting to spend too much time with that. Parentheses closed.
No, it made sense that you had limited time.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I mean, that guy had to get going, and let's just say he didn't leave through space. He left through time.
Yeah, fair enough. But I do want to note that your first reaction when I said I want to ask some question, dude!
It was a very long session.
It was, but fucking hell, first time I actually got a chance to ask something about it. Anyways, so yeah. That was my biggest leap recently.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also perhaps mildly so, but only purely in an engineering kind of direction. Apparently, while my mind wasn't here, I joined during an asking of an alchemical.
That hasn't happened yet. That's what we're gonna get to in a moment.
Okay. Pardon, I spoiled it for myself.
It's fine. You know it's gonna happen, but Crud does not.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, you guys spend the day studying carefully, and Crud, you're starting to like entertain the idea of maybe there's some research out in the world that you could just borrow. Wink.
Mm-hmm.
It's highly unlikely in your analytical mind that you're the only one who's researched this in any capacity.
Oh, I would be very disappointed if I was the only one who was interested in the prospect. Yeah. But currently, the best candidate that would be in my mind would be, what was the elves' planet? The Realm?
The Realm, yeah.
Yeah. So the Realm, and that's such a poshy place, and Liam's from there, so I have a basis of what to expect from people from there. It's not a very nice idea.
Yeah. So it's starting to near evening, and then you get a knock on the door.
Open it. I'd tell Killy.
Killy opens it, and in the doorway, Diam is standing there, not in her full butcher armor, just in mostly like Victorian suit. Like that's generally what people from the capital of Tokta wear. Like, she's just standing there like, ah, Kelly, I want to speak to Crud. Is he around? Yeah, and Kelly invites her in.
Ah, Miss Avras.
Afternoon, Crud. Or evening. What time is it even?
Closer to evening, closer to evening. It's such a pleasure to see a highly minded person.
Well, I've
not got many chances lately.
Yeah, she like scratches her nose and her like hands slightly bloody. Yeah, I lost track of time.
Reading poetry, I would presume.
Well, I did. My current patron did not enjoy my poetry so much. Mostly due to not speaking any of the languages I know. He is one of your kind, so I rudely presume that you might also speak Draconic.
That I do. That I do. I pointed the blood. That's his, I would presume, right?
Could be mine. Might have gotten carried away.
Fair enough.
Wanna tag along? Have a debrief? They were an alchemist. Might be peculiar for you.
Oh. Alchemy, you say?
Yeah. Maybe even slightly more advanced. She like looks at there's like a glowing tattoo on her hand. Yeah. I acquired a bit of transmutation energy from this creature. They were performing some sort of ritual, and instead of doing anything about it, I just kindly absorbed it.
You keep impressing me. Alright, I'm highly interested in this prospect.
Yes, well, I doubt this is a scene for children. She looks at Killy.
I wouldn't... I'll look at Killy. You don't speak Draconic anyway, do you?
A bit. I've started studies, and it was part of the order. Well, the...
Technological side of the language?
Oh, definitely not.
Tidy up this place while I do that. Do what's need to be done.
I'll... Maybe after I'm done with this spell.
Fair enough. I'm in my robe, so I don't need to put anything on. I do want to note that I put an order for a new robe, which should be done by this session I'll be joining next time. But for now, the same semi... What was in his picture? It wasn't very full body clothing. It mostly was a skirt and a cape, basically.
Yeah, it was. It's still a sort of. It's a shamanistic robe.
Yeah, something like that. I ordered for something much a bit of a razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
In any case, I pick up an empty book, an ink and feather, and approach DM. I'm ready.
Well, let's head out. Do you think Jam and Crud often meet in the downtime?
Let's say he doesn't necessarily come specifically for her, but whenever they cross in a hallway, in the bar, whenever, he does gladly approach and perhaps offer to have a talk, maybe regarding the poetry she seems to enjoy, or sharing, since DM also went the path of the wizard, much like Keely has.
Yeah, but Jam is in a slightly different school of magic than you are.
Sure enough, but still, magic is magic.
Yeah, she's in the school of reawakening, which is a fairly different subject than yours. You don't get all the minutia about it, but yeah.
Which is also part of why it's interesting to talk with her.
Correct.
She has the mind to share, if she shares the ideas, just as he.
Yeah, yeah. You're like walking down a pathway on on Station Mana in the habitation deck, and you reach Yum's abode. Yeah, she opens the door, and like most of the necessities in this room have been removed. Like the locker, the bed, she's just carried it all out and just replaced it with several degrees of torture devices and chains and stuff. Yeah. Where's this guy?
Why does this remind me of Tokta so much?
Well, I do appreciate fine arts.
So you do, as your dog. Suddenly a poodle puffs out of DM's clothes.
That's not mine. Yeah, and in the room there's a tiefling standing there, like patiently. There's a similar like him next to him, just chained up and bloodied. She just walks past them both, points at a kobold in like a little seat that's just. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Maybe what? The dogs are saying, "Let me kill this kobold! Let me kill!"
Okay. Right. That bit of discussion is up.
We proceed.
Yeah, the tiefling like bows before you, Crud.
It's always pleasant to see the respect deserved.
Jim smiles. Don't expect a response from him. Carcass, open your mouth. As he opens his mouth and there's nothing there. No teeth, no tongue. Good boy. Close it. Right. There's like a female kobold just like chained to a seat, bloodied and looking downwards, like half awake. Well, I got started. I think she will be compliant.
I approach the kobold. What color is she? Because apparently there are a lot of different colors of kobolds, just like dragons. So.
Yeah. Yellow.
Yellow. Fair enough. Is there a yellow dragon? I don't remember.
It's like it's between like a brown. It's a light brown color, basically.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I approach the kobold. Snap my fingers twice behind me. There's a chair appears under me, and I take a seat.
Can you even conjure objects that big?
Considering my size, the chair wouldn't be that large.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I'll take a look at the ability regardless.
Yeah,
just in case.
She looks up at the finger snapping. Help me.
She speaks in Draconic immediately, as I presume,
yeah, she
right?
does. She doesn't speak any other language.
The object can be no larger than 3 feet on the side and weigh no more than 10 pounds. So.
Yeah, easily a chair for a kobold.
Yeah. I don't speak immediately, just. Is she dressed like she's in? I don't presume she would be undressed for this torturing, right?
No.
Does she look like she dabbles in some? Because usually, people that are magically inclined or magically minded, they tend to dress as such in a shaman way, wizardry way. As generalizing as that is, does her attire kind of show that in any way?
She looks a bit like a mix of an engineer and a scholar. Someone who'd be like repairing things like artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Lovely.
Doing like grunt work.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like a worker slash scholar combination.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I can help you, but only if you help me, and I just take a look at DM. I point at DM with my snout, basically.
Yeah, Jim's sitting there like reading a new book she has. It seems very different from her usual reading material. It's a fishing like book on how to. She's like quickly reading through the pages.
Ah, dear lord. So yeah, I look back at the kobold. If you cooperate, this won't take too long.
What do you want?
My colleague, my friend, said that you know stuff of the arcane.
Yes.
We would like that information. That's it, really.
She is visibly too tired and too out of it to like retell everything she knows.
Fair enough, fair enough. If she seems like she is gonna pass out, like, I use prestidigitation to splash water at her. Being a wizard is fucking A.
No, she's just like out of it. She's not like a prime
Okay,
musician.
I'll talk in simple terms. What directions of the arcane do you know?
I know of alchemy and I studied art. I basically invented art. What would be the term to artificery? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, she just invented artificery, and
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I'm trying to. It's fucking hard when you know basically what happened and what I found out, and not use that to like abuse the in roleplay. It's rather hard.
yeah.
Not to immediately ask the right questions, basically. Okay. How hard would it be to explain how those two directions work?
I'm in no condition to do this. Your friend made sure of that. She just glares at Jum.
She can be impatient. However, the longer it takes to share this information, the longer you'll spend your time with her. Am I clear?
She shudders.
I pull out the book, open it.
Yeah.
So,
And I guess we have like a scene fast forward as as she like regales you with all the information an artificer would need to.
I do you have a moment of soft hardness? Since she's actually providing some very interesting information, I
Yeah.
am willing to give one potion of healing to her so she doesn't feel as shit.
Go ahead, write that down. Write that off.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, she feels visibly. She looks visibly better after that.
Since it's much more efficient if she's actually able to move her jaws for talking.
Yum is standing there like. After a while, Crud, we only have 3 more days with her, and she's getting
Oh,
shipped back to her planet.
fair enough, fair enough. This will take too much longer.
Fair enough.
I have like a third or a half of a book like written with perhaps some sketches from descriptions on some items.
Yeah, you've like drawn a gun,
Mm.
and next to it there's like written thunder cannon.
Ah,
Yeah,
yes.
and that continues on for a bit. Do you at some point ask her about anything relating to Rift engines?
Well, since you asked. Well, so yes.
Yeah, this
I do at one point just ask, does the term Rift engines remind you of anything?
sounds like something. Not engines, perhaps, but Rift's creation. I've heard a man study that topic.
All right. Do you, also it's related. Do you know of a method to gather and condense large amounts of powers, perhaps through these artificial skills?
She shrugs. Not really.
What can you tell me about what you have heard regarding Rift's creation?
And I studied in my studies. I had a peer a few years ago. Weirdly enough, this pixie man was very enthralled by a similar topic to what you've asked me.
Oh, for a second, I imagined Victor.
I know Rift engines, right? This is the best
Yes,
Rift engine.
exactly. For a second, I thought you were gonna fucking blueball me and say that she was conned by Victor believing that he was into that stuff.
Yeah, no.
Ah, fucking Victor.
He was a bit of a hermit. We all the information I knew about him was from one of his pen pals, as to say.
Where could I find him or information regarding him?
He was on the realm.
There's a very visible sigh.
Jum raises an eyebrow.
No, Miss Everest. It's nothing to be worried about.
This conversation's probably happening 2 days in. So
Yeah.
Jum is like sitting there eating like a very primitive looking burger.
The Mock Togda. Killing it.
Yes! That's a thing now. Da, 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 da. Killing it. Yeah. Yeah, so she just if you have any, I don't know the specific location, but if you have someone to ask, look for, I'm gonna write this down.
Why the fuck does that remind me of Victor's name so much?
I mean, pixies, you know, they're fucking crazy.
So, so is that the name of this pixie or?
Yeah.
Okay. Inglasio Maltini.
Yeah,
The best drift engine creation, yeah.
She just looks at Inglasio Maltine. He was. I knew he had. I think he was in a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. So it's tough to say.
Did he write about his works? Did he publish? Did he share his knowledge?
He was in the midst of creating, like, publishing his paper. I haven't heard about him in a while. I've been preoccupied with my research.
Fair enough.
Are you still bound with the Xetriarch?
Yes, I am.
Right. So let's just. I think Carcass is not needed anymore. He was just there to showcase that he exists. And by this point, you see that Jam no longer has the glowing tattoos, and she's imbued them into Carcass. She did that while you were there. She just looks at you like while doing it. Fantastic power, terrible for naps. Literally always restless. Yeah.
Have you tried covering it with a bandage?
She smirks. Yeah. And yeah, as Inglasio Maltine has mentioned, Xetriarch shows up like not like a physical form, like an
in my mind, basically.
Yeah, it's a projection of him. He like leans over the kobold. Maltine. Sounds familiar.
I raise a brow at the image. Have I found out whether or not it's just enough to think, or do I have to vocally speak?
You know, you're bound like mentally. You don't have to like. He's not reading your thoughts actively, but if you like think towards him.
Great. I don't want to sound like a mentally ill person. So, you know of him?
I don't know of him. The name rings a bell. I could check my sources. Can have it answered to you at some point.
Would be very appreciated.
He looks at the kobold. Don't kill her. He just fades.
He said, "Don't kill her."
Yeah, don't kill her.
That wasn't in my ideas.
Yeah, he's already gone. So.
Okay. Like by the second day, the book is basically full. It's a very rather thick, I would say, school textbook. 101 for alchemy and artistry today.
Yeah. Jem looks at the clock. Well, I promised to bring her to Thule. I wanted to keep her for myself, but sadly fate did not allow this.
One last thing. I stand up, the chair under me disappearing.
Yeah, as the chair disappears, like a huge like fish creature on the wall just goes Run!
I take a look at what?
Jem goes, oh, that's peculiar. I did kill him.
Miss Alvarez, you're as smart as you are surprising.
I'll get rid of it.
Your possessions. I look at the kobold, put my hand on. It was a girl, right? You said.
Yeah, it's a female kobold.
Okay. Put my hand on her shoulder and say, "You. I'll tell my colleague not to use her force on you as you're being transported. I cannot guarantee what happens to you over there, but from what I've heard, you're required alive."
She looks up. Yeah, as a prisoner.
An alive prisoner.
And there's like a knock on the door. Diamo opens the door, and there's like two free company like soldiers. Jumps eyes, points at the kobold. Take her away. The soldiers are relatively disgusted by the room. They look at you with a bit of disgust as well, thinking you're involved in this. And yeah, they take her away.
Try not to ruffle her clothes anymore.
One of the soldiers goes, yes, roger that. Then they walk away.
I turn to DM in that moment and say, that was much more productive than I expected. I take the book and now I'll...
When you have time, transcribe a copy for me.
Yes, I was gonna say that I was gonna give it this to Keely to copy, basically. Having an apprentice is quite useful.
Having slaves is very, very... a lot more better.
Am
I right, Carcass? Carcass, like, nods slowly.
Slavery reminds me of the bad parts of Togda.
For me, it's the good parts. Hey.
Let's not delve deeper into that.
She nods. Did you get anything that could further your research? Considering for the last 2 days you've been in my living quarters, speaking in a language I don't understand.
Well, science does require certain sacrifices. In your case, it was me using your living space. Yeah. But yes, I did find out some interesting things. But it doesn't further my research without me taking some actions. So I would like to take those actions as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and basically we go from downtime between, I think, session 18, like 19 happens. It's basically a week.
Mm-hmm.
And Qrudharkak like pings you up. You're at your own quarters. Killy is like transcribing the book
for the 5th time.
Yeah, for probably 6th. She's a quick cookie. Yeah. Qrudharkak pings you up like, got a location. You're like studying, and he just leans over in his like spectral form. Hey, I got a location. Also, I'm free to fly today, so.
I finished the final word with sentence, put a dot. push the book to dry up and immediately stand up. Keely?
Keely looks up. Yes?
We're going for a travel. From the side, this looks completely fucking spontaneous.
Yeah, it does. And it's just like, sure. Where
Gather your gather. I take a look to the side, like as if looking into the distance, and just think, the realm.
Yeah, it is the realm.
Look back at Keely. The realm.
Alright.
I gather up some stuff. I don't take. I don't take. I take the 8th book with me, the last book. And my usual equipment. I do want to say that I don't take all of my cash with me, but at the same time, logically, that kind of doesn't make sense. We don't have an actual bank here or something, yeah?
Yeah, you can just leave it at home, though.
How safe is it? I mean, coins is here.
Generally, it's very unwise to infiltrate the housing locations of adventurers.
Also true.
Some have tried. Yeah. Getting booted off the station is the best option for that kind of action. One of them entered Lygon's house and is now diagnosed with chronic depression.
Oh dear lord. Was it Lygon or was it his diary?
Both. They were just locked in a closet and just had to listen to a conversation between the two.
Oh, you poor pathetic creature, you needed to steal some money. You fucker! You motherfucker! Your mother never loved you!
Yeah.
Lygon. Alright, in that case I'll exchange 2 platinum for gold coins and take that for now.
Alright.
And make that 4 platinum, 40 gold coins. And I'll go towards Zidriak. The rest of the equipment I do have. I still have an empty book, I still have parchments. Keely has half of the healing equipment. Just in case.
Yeah. Yeah, you get aboard. Do you talk about anything with Zidriak on the way?
Is the pixie still alive?
He's unsure. Like.
The location, his living quarters or something else?
His known residence, where he did his research.
Anything I should know before I arrive there? Like, perhaps people I will have to interact with, or maybe even dangers. Who knows?
It's a farmstead. Don't think there's a lot of people or anything about. It's a very secluded location.
Fair enough. Also, what did you think about the kobold?
I don't know.
Did you think she like, was I explained why she had to be taken, like why she was a target?
She basically did like horrific alchemical experiments in the middle of the town, and had like almost started like a ooze outbreak in the city. And Jam and a few of an adventuring party was sent to deal with her.
Do you think she deserved her punishment for her since the information is ultimately relayed basically to Qrudharkak, I don't need to explain that, but I think she deserved the punishment for her experiments. I'm trying to find out his alignment, basically. I want to know if he's a purely science-directed entity or not.
He thinks about it. Don't really know her crimes. If the people of that town think that she needed to be put down, fair enough.
Alright.
Out of our jurisdiction.
Fair enough.
We're the help out. We're not the deciding factor. Yeah, and the ship lands in like a lovely green pasture, and there's like a single green.
Aw, that's adorable.
Little farmhouse, yeah.
Are there actual pigs and chickens?
Yeah, there's pigs and chickens and
food.
Food, yes. Oh shit.
Does it seem like it's habitable? Like that someone's living here?
Yeah. All the animals seem to be fed, and you hear like someone chopping wood in like a distance. Like behind the cows, so you can't immediately see.
Mm-hmm. Is there any sight of like guard animals?
No.
In that case,
There's a few pigs and chickens like walking around the field, but other than that, nothing.
fair enough. Though a guard pig would be quite an interesting thing. All right, I'll make my way around the house towards the sound.
Yeah. You walk around, you see a relatively large, shirtless dragonborn just chopping wood.
He's a big one.
Yeah, he's just like chopping it. It's like he looks very in good physical form. He hasn't.
His face his head shape kind of reminds of Qrudharkak's. Don't they look a bit similar?
Yeah, I can see them.
Papa?
My father was a dragonborn. Raised me well and killed me good.
So I approach a bit closer and in Draconic say, hello, hail, whatever the term would be more suitable.
He like slightly jumps because he was so into his work. He didn't notice a ship landing, and you walking up, so he's like, greetings.
I was told this would be the residence of an Inglesio Maltine.
It was, yes.
Was?
I was his servant. I helped him out around the land.
What's his current status?
Uh,
Living location? Anything?
One day he was just gone.
Perfect.
You could. Why are you here for him though?
I was told he was studying a subject that I'm quite interested in.
Fair. I mean, I don't understand any of his papers, so you might as well have a look.
May we? I would gesture at basically at the house, like, may I enter?
Yeah, like there's a big door and then there's like a pixie door. The house is basically separated into one like sleeping compartment for this dragonborn, and like a small.
One is too big for me. One is too small for me.
No.
Perfect.
The pixie's one is suitable for your size.
Oh,
Like, yeah, it wouldn't be the best for you, but yeah, you can
fair
get
enough.
in there and see everything. The Dragonborn sure as hell can't, but he has to like crawl in there if he needs to. Yeah, he just leads you in and it's like shows you his
uh,
study.
Along the way, I want to know, uh, when exactly did he disappear?
Uh, hmm. He's like trying to best articulate how much time has passed. Um,
How
uh,
many winters ago?
one
I don't
winter.
know.
One winter.
Oh, so relatively not too long ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Did he at any point hint at the possibility of him leaving?
Not really. He was. He points. He shows you like around. He didn't like people or traveling.
I can relate to him on one of those subjects. Fair enough. Could you show me the study?
Yeah, you like walked. You like walk into a small, relatively small room. It's like walls to walls books and uh, like runes carved into the table. Um,
I hope the books aren't pixie-sized.
no, no, they're like normal books. Pixies don't make pixie-sized books. That's just inconvenient for everyone. Even
I
pixies.
mean, it wouldn't be
Like, how would they write in those?
a
You take like
pixie-sized feathers.
you take like a splotch of ink and it's just like, pfft, well, the whole page is black now.
No, but I mean, they could manufacture. They could use needles or shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, generally, everything's like made for medium people. So even small creatures generally
Okay.
operate in like medium. There's Qrudharkak doesn't use small books, does he?
Well, that's just a matter of pride.
Yeah.
I'm as big as my intellect allows me to be.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of research. Keely looks at it all. Oh, quite the study, isn't it?
Indeed, something to aspire to.
Would you two like water, apples, anything?
Mm, just some peace and quiet for now.
All right, I'll be right outside if you need me.
Thank you.
Also, please don't break anything.
I won't. I won't. I respect others' intellectual property.
And he walks outside.
God, he's blunt. So, I point Keela towards one end of the bookshelves. I point to myself to the other end of the bookshelves. Let's start searching for anything about space rifts or space rifts.
Yeah, would you please roll an investigate check?
Mm-hmm. Investigation. Please be good. Ooh! Decent.
Yeah. You're like, a lot of these books are other people's like research, but not on the topic you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You find his like private journal, and in there, like he's not going about. In his research, he's gotten as far as you did in book, like in your third, fourth book.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not far ahead, but he had like a breakthrough recently. He like crafted a magical item that could let him travel somewhere.
Oh.
And all of this like most people wouldn't figure it out because the notes like what I'm saying to you is not what's actually written. This is all in like a sort of like scholar code.
Yeah, the wizard count.
Advanced bullshit, so most people under 18 can't understand.
Technobabble.
Yeah,
as they like to call it.
technobabble, correct. Wizobabble, more in this case. Yeah, he crafted a gateway to what he thinks is a location that could further his studies.
Okay, any schematics on the item?
There's like a drawing, and it's like a doorway covered in runes and imbued with what's the spell you well, let me check something.
There's a teleportation circle spell. There's Misty Step.
Yeah, we're just gonna. Yeah,
There's
if you fill it, if you like pummel conjuration, if you pummel conjuration energy into this gateway, it should power up and offer you a trip to the location.
I put aside all the books that are like relevant, especially that part. And
only his journal is mostly relevant to you.
Okay, how thick is the journal? Basically, I would just like to copy it.
Yeah, and Kelly can do
that. Also true enough. Anything more? Maybe perhaps any risks that might be involved, or instructions and stuff like that. Something.
I mean, he wouldn't be writing instructions down for himself.
Also true. Also true. Did he mention where he made this? If he was planning to make it, where he made one?
Yeah, it seems like he finished it. But it doesn't say where.
That's all for the information in this study, right?
That's the end of his journal. If you have any ideas what you could look into here, go.
I do have an idea. I take a look out of the room. Did the servant ever call his name? I don't think I even asked one.
You did not ask. You are
so in that case,
you don't ask for names.
Yeah, in that case, I'll just be blunt. Servant!
There's no response.
Do I hear the sound of wood cutting again?
Yeah, there's chopping.
Actually,
now it's like more sawing than chopping.
Okay, fair enough. I would like to find a window that looks out into the side that he's in.
Yeah.
Open it and...
Yeah, he's...
Servant!
He looks up. Name's Garn. Wait.
Fair enough.
What do you want?
Did Meltine have a basement or perhaps a workshop?
Not really. I did a lot of wood carving for him out here in the barn, but that's about it.
To the barn for now.
Yeah, you enter the barn and there's like fairly roughly carved furniture strewn about. What's your... Let me check something.
Passive?
Yeah, what's your passive?
11.
11. Yeah, it's just it's what I said before. It's just chairs and tables strewn about.
Garden, did he ask for anything out of the ordinary to carve for him as of before he disappeared?
It's been a while. Let me think about it. He did ask me to build that doorway into the farm farmland. I think that was his last ask.
Could you lead us to it?
Yeah, yeah. Just like casually walks outside, leads you to. It's like a. It's like a doorway in a fence that leads out into like a small crop field. It's the last thing he asked. And I mean,
are there runes on it?
yeah, very subtle ones, like very subtly carved.
Just out of curiosity, can I just like touch it and send a small batch of energy, just a small bit? Is that something that wizards can do? Or do I have?
It won't be like you touch it and just bam. You like concentrate and mumble a few words.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean that. I mean that.
Same principle, but yeah, you are able to.
Okay, fair enough. And guys, does that like get any reaction from the doorway?
Yeah, it starts like slightly like the interior of it starts glowing faintly. You're not like putting it all in, so it's.
No, I'm not. I pull my hand away. Thank you, Garn. I'll take it from here for now.
All right. Will you be staying around till dinner?
Perhaps, but not guaranteed. Don't bother with the meal for us. We'll make do if we decide to stay.
Understood.
I keep like taking a look at it. How large is this doorway? Was it made for a normal-sized creature, small-sized creature?
Oh.
Well, okay.
That's not what I wanted.
Okay.
That's also not the right picture. So what the fuck?
Okay.
I'm like, what the fuck?
I was about to like go with it, like, okay, pump it all in and just go inside.
No. Yeah. So, where did we leave off before the picture showed up?
I asked how big the door is size-wise. Like,
Garn could get through, and he's a fairly.
Oh, so fairly large.
Yeah.
Okay, and aside from runes, are there anything else? Like any mechanical bits and bobs, or
no,
like, or
purely.
So it's just the right combination of runes.
Yeah, and the right incantations to imbue it with energy.
Fair enough. And since it was all mentioned in the journal, I don't need to make a copy of it. But I do make a note that a functional gate is present here and here, yada yada. Well then. I look at Killy. Ready to do another travel?
As much as I want to, jump through, wouldn't it be safer for one of us to keep the door open while the other explores? Who says there's a gateway on the other side? If this one closes, maybe you're trapped.
You know, Kelly, for once you genuinely impressed me. You actually thought of something I did not. I was a bit too enthralled with the prospect of using gate. Very well.
Well, I do have a soldier's mind.
Very well. In that case, you'll be up on that task.
Yeah, I figured as much.
I'll require the book, ink and a feather, and I'll take some rations with me, which are No, I never bought rations. What the fuck am I saying? I never buy rations. In that case, I'll go to Garn,
Yeah.
and ask if I can have a loaf of bread, basically, something just in case for a snack.
Yeah, he like gives you a loaf of bread and like 2 apples.
Perfect. I put 1 gold coin to pay for it,
Oh,
and
oh, he's like.
I didn't convert it to silver or copper.
Yeah, but he like hasn't seen gold in a while.
Also fair enough. I understand that it's much more than this is worth. And I go back to the gate.
Yeah.
Basically, relatively, this is the same as Liam paying fucking 400 gold for 1 potion.
Yeah, yeah, it's close.
So yeah, back to the gate, and perhaps it would be easier to maintain. Together with Killy, make the initial charge,
Yeah.
reading the incantation, turn on the gate, perhaps.
Since Killy is the one doing it, please roll a Killy arcane check with advantage.
Oh, this can go very badly. I mean, she's not bad at it. And Killy Arcana.
With advantage 13. Yeah, it's enough to spark the gate open. It doesn't look very stable, but you know she's holding it.
Don't lose focus.
Yeah. And
do I see like the other side of it, or it does
no,
it look like the...
it's just like an energy field.
I touch it with my finger at first.
It goes through.
Okay.
It feels sort of like putting your finger in water. And on the other side, you feel like a breeze of air. So it's like a centimeter thick water layer between you.
But not painful.
No.
Okay. I step inside.
Right. Killing the leaves, and we enter. Shit.
A fucking Zerg base.
No. Okay, great. Move to front. Wait. Oh, the map. That's why it didn't work, because this is in the token layer.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Very fucking fancy. This kind of looks like Stargate, the movie.
Might be. I don't know where it's from.
No, it's not from that. That gate had the actual runes on it. Like
Yeah,
one.
the giant circle thing is not the gate. Like,
Okay.
like a doorway of like energy shows up, and you step out of it into this cave system.
Okay, first thing, I look back. Do I see a portal?
Yep. You don't see a
Good.
doorway, so Killy's suspicion was correct.
Fair enough. Oh, well, I start looking around. What do I see in the near vicinity?
You see one of these like metallic structures, and inside of it there's like crystals powering something, and all of this looks very different from most like mage tech that you've seen.
I immediately start doing some sketches. Starting to draw whatever I see.
Yeah, you hear like a sort of clunking noise in the distance.
Do I see any person?
Not immediately, no.
Okay. Start making... I would like to approach one of those structures first.
Yeah. Inside of it, there's like a sort of panel with covered in buttons, and for reference, right? Most technology is just incantations, magic,
Yeah.
not buttons. Like, and these are like rubber buttons, so very unsettling for Crud.
Is it in common?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Is there? We do have screens from what I recall from the very first session.
Yeah, you have screens, but they're like different than this.
Fair enough, but is there a screen here?
Yeah.
Anything written on it?
Power module, 50%. And then at the bottom, there's like a string of like binary commands that you could input. You don't understand any of it.
I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not Liam.
Yeah, it's a bunch of like numbers and Crud even doesn't understand what's going on.
Yes, and that makes me feel very uncomfortable. I would like. Oh, I actually have it prepared. I would like to. What does this do again? Okay, I would like to cast detect magic on it to see what school of magic it is.
Right.
I actually have it prepared for some reason.
Okay, wait. What does detect magic do exactly?
Whoop.
Thank you. It's not. You don't even cast it on it. You just cast it and see a faint aura of magic if there is one.
I mean, you learn at School of Magic, if any.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You like cast detect magic, and does Qrudharkak often cast this spell like in like research?
He has cast it during travels mostly. He doesn't cast it on Station Mana all that much.
Yeah.
He casts it. He did cast it when he saw that basically magical 8-ball that we gathered from Aiders.
Oh yeah.
And from there, I'd never specified that I cast it, but maybe one more time at the slave, where I basically learned about space and rift engines.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So not all that often, but when I see something that actually interests me and I'm very curious about.
Yeah. Okay. You cast detect magic, and Crud, you are basically overwhelmed by how empty this place is of magic. It's like every time you cast this, even if faintly, everything's like sorta a bit. There's magic in it, and here it's just like dead zone.
I take a look around and cast it again just to be sure.
Yeah, like everything is just empty.
Huh.
And at this point, a laser beam flies past your head.
Oh fuck! Do I evade something?
No, it was a warning shot.
Dragon anus! Hell! I take a look at the source.
Yeah. A small creature, like a creature.
Oh, fuck! That's adorable.
Yeah. A creature is approaching you. She has white skin, pale green hair. Her armor is split in purple and brown. She studies you carefully.
Is this how you greet everyone?
Let me... Give me a second. I'm thinking what she would say. It's a peculiar character.
Oh, you bloody baron! The fuck you doing here near my artifacts, eh?
She goes, generally, yes. Old habits die hard, one would say.
I did not come here with harmful intentions.
She looks around. I presume you came the same route as the pixie did. The little flying man. Peculiar creature.
Is the pixie still alive?
He tried to get back home. I'm not sure how successful he was.
When did this happen? I may ask.
The same day as we met. We had a discussion. He fell to his knees and cried, and yeah, vowed to be a farmer afterwards. Interesting fella. Not particularly bright.
Was this a year ago?
She looks around. Year is relative. Maybe. It's been a while.
All right.
What are you here for? Why are you intruding?
Not mostly.
You're curious if the pixie is anything to go off. Rifts, correct? Yes.
Indeed.
What's your play here? What do you want?
In my time, in my world, I don't know if this is another time or not.
This is the same time.
All right.
Asteroid. Or maybe a cave system. I don't know what's happened above. It's been a while.
Where I'm from, we no longer possess the ability to create rifts. And I am here.
That's sadly enough a universal thing. It's
true enough. And I would like to remedy that.
Huh.
Well, remedy that in the sense that I would like to learn how to create them.
There's only one way to create a rift.
Rift engine?
Correct. You've done your research.
I've been doing it for a long time. May I ask to lower the weapon? To lower your wand?
Yeah. Now that you're like studying closer her like magical weapon, she's wearing a small suit of power armor, so it's nothing like you've seen before. Yeah.
I could roleplay this so badly.
Go ahead.
What artificer made you that set of plate armor?
She smirks. I did.
You seem very skilled then.
Silent.
That was the most potent scorch ray I have ever seen.
Yes. I see what's going on. Let me guess, your world is populated by magic.
I hold out my hand and a mage hand appears above it to demonstrate.
Fair enough. I can't teach you. I can't teach you how to do anything relating to the drifts. You're just not capable.
Is it a different kind of energy? I mean, the pixie managed to do this much.
Yeah, the pixie opened a doorway. La-di-da. I don't think your primitive brain could even understand the advanced advances needed for this to actually happen, let alone mass produce it or even produce it in a prototype variety.
I'm gonna make a very foolish move. I would like to cast Mr. Step to get behind her and say, impress me.
Right.
This is gonna be very foolish, I know.
Can you show me Misty stuff this time?
I don't. How far is she? That's a good question.
She's standing within range. One bonus action, so like a second, right? We get this in slow motion, right? You take. How does your Misty Step look like?
Components is verbal, so my mouth starts opening and a string of the incantation starts. As that happens, two silvery lines come out of my ring, go towards my feet, and the step itself looks... basically, it looks like a line appears from point A to point B, and I'm for a millisecond at both places, and then I'm at point B.
Yeah, and it's literally a snap of the fingers kind of thing. And yeah, you're behind her. You don't get to say, impress me. She's already holding you by your throat.
I've been working on gaining this knowledge for too long for someone like you to say that I'm too simple-minded.
She smirks. And like tosses you back a bit. Okay. Impress me. She begins to like I think the best way, she wouldn't actually say it. She just takes the cannon on her hand and just starts like incredibly fast, writes down like a equation on the ground. She looks at you. Prove me wrong. This is basics. This is step one.
Okay. Pure intelligence roll?
I think so. I think
this would not be Arcana, sadly.
No.
And this wouldn't be a saving throw. So pure intelligence seems.
Let me see. I would actually say Arcana, even though it's non-magical in order.
Okay, I want to check one more thing before that. Okay, I have this thing called the researcher trait.
What is it?
It was from my background. This. It doesn't. It probably doesn't help in this situation. It basically just tells me where I can learn this stuff.
Yeah, you'll be able to remember this equation, but...
Okay, fair enough. In that case, Arcana?
Yep.
Could I use my bond?
What's your bond?
My life's work is a series of tomes related to a specific field of lore.
Yeah. But you won't have your bond for the next session.
Okay, fair enough. I never get to use it during my sessions, anyways.
Yeah, you're like looking at this, and it's basically like looking... You remember, you seem to understand bits of it, but it's like looking at a foreign language for you. The idea in principle seems similar to how spells work, but in practice it's a whole different language to you. you come to a conclusion in your head. You have like a answer. You have no idea if it's the right one.
Regardless, I copy it into my book.
Yeah. Do you write down the idea that you have, where she asks for the answer?
Like possible answer, gibberish, and 3 question marks, and then I look up at her and basically say, "Is it 42?" Basically, I ask if my answer is even close.
She studies it. Nope.
Strike out would be a possible answer a bit.
You see, a long time ago, gods happened. As for every story in folklore. But for your races, for this section, it happened. Gods were created. And, yes, la-di-da. All-powerful creatures gave life to... How many races are you now? Like dozens? Several dozen? Yeah.
I know of 33.
Yeah. Gods happened, they created you all. They didn't create the universe, though. The universe existed and spanned before them. And will continue spinning them long after they've all been decapitated or whatever happens to gods these days. Before that, rift engines happened. So, your gods were like, oh shit, these are bad. Rifts, horrible, horrible things for them. And for everything they do. So they innately locked you species from advancing in this side of the universe. You were given great magical potencies, that is correct. I encountered magical creatures beyond your understanding. But you were locked away from this. She points at the equation. And at the devices. So, because of that, you're unable, innately unable, to even comprehend what I'm trying to demonstrate here.
This feels a lot like Qrudharkak explains stuff to others.
Yeah, that was the idea. Yeah, the idea was Qrudharkak, smart guy, goes to a place. Oh shit. I'm not clever at all.
Rift engines.
Yes.
They are not innately bad, are they?
The fallout of them was bad, but then again, they were overused. A galaxy full of people used them over and over every day for thousands of years. Yes, there were consequences. Why do you want this technology?
I seek as much knowledge as I can, and space rifts happen to be the deepest bit of knowledge that one can strive towards. At least from where I am from. For you, it might be simple matters.
That's correct. I can construct an engine right here, right now. If I had the will. Or the need.
For me, it's something to prove myself as... to prove my mind, to prove that I'm not a lunatic. From when I'm from, most people already forgot about space rifts, already forgot about rift engines. Ridicule those who strive towards them. And here I am, in front of someone who is proof the rift engines are reality. My reasons are not virtuous. They're rather egoistical.
She yawns slightly.
I want to know. That's it.
I'll come back when you're ready. First, lift the block off of yourself that restricts you from studying this. I don't know how. There's probably powerful magics that can counter the will of the gods.
You blocked us from the class of psionics, but do we know that such class exists?
Yes, but this is not exactly what you're going for.
Okay.
Psionics also not really a thing right now. Not widespread knowledge.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
If they do exist.
Answer me at least this. What's your name?
She smirks. Well, the gods named me the unfair advantage. I had a name before then, but afterwards it seemed fitting.
Unfair advantage?
Yes.
I look around at the location. When, not if, when I unblock my mind, will I at least be greeted without the scorching ray?
She smirks. Well, we'll see about that. Also work on your mind, you're ever so slow.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, you're basically conversing with...
I curse out in Draconic.
Yeah, you're basically talking to someone who's in his 40, so your 18 is...
Fair enough. Okay. Thinking quickly if I have any more questions. Okay, this basic formula that you showed me.
Yeah.
Is there anything even more basic? Kindergarten level, perhaps. I acknowledge that my mind is not where it should be, where I thought it should be.
She sighs. Mathematics. I presume your universe has it. Study it well.
Yes. Alright. I start walking towards the portal. Thank you. Advantage.
She nods. Now where was I? And she like jumps off. It like a good 100-foot jump. And yeah, the giant.
I bite my lip in a rather obvious jealousy.
Yeah. And now you notice that the giant round thing in the wall is a mechanical eyeball.
Oh, fuck. Is it staring at me?
It's vacant so far. She just jumped in it to like...
Oh, okay. Now I have... Wait. I want to go back towards the formula. And I want to try and think about Zidrak. Is he able to contact me?
No. I don't think not.
Dragon anus. Alright. Towards the portal. And...
You have a last glimpse at this cave.
Yes.
And it's marvels that you physically can't comprehend. And you leave. Killy greets you outside. So?
I look depressed. I look like the guy who went through the first 12 grades with nothing but straight A's, and then suddenly went to university and found out that he was just the best out of the shit class.
Yeah. Right. Token layer. I've lost the picture. God damn it. Whatever.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
Yeah. Killer looks at you. Well? Did you learn something?
For a second, I try to regain my confidence. I learned that the people around me are even dumber than I expected.
Oh, okay.
Including me.
Oh.
Let's make our way towards the ship.
What happened in there? And you're just like walking to the ship.
Yes, I'm not immediately saying. But I do, once I'm here, ask Zidra, were you able to see what I saw?
Like glimpses into the fog.
I'll require your help in this matter more than I expected.
Alright. Do you know where you went?
Far away.
One could say that. Like a projection of the realm shows up. And like zooms in like near the core.
Oh.
You didn't go
I was on the realm?
Yeah, you weren't on the realm. You were in the realm.
In the realm. Oh dear lord. Also, advantage. Did she firstly, was she around my size, or
She was your size, yes.
would I call her halfling like? Or did she have the spiky ears and shit like that?
No, she had round ears and her complexion is very unhalfling-like. Like, everything about her was very unnatural to what you know. Especially her complexion and her eyes. Green hair, not that bad.
Fair enough. Onto the ship toward say I don't even part with Garn. Who the fuck cares at this point?
Fuck him!
Yeah, I mean he's just a dumb servant who manages to at least lead me towards the right place. Onto the ship and towards Station Mana.
Yeah.
Already, like. Writing in the book and just dissecting it letter by letter, the formula that was given to me.
Mm-hmm. It's far above you. Yeah. We see Qrudharkak head into his little abode with possibly a bit of his ego damaged.
Before I go into my boat, I would like to visit the shop and buy a fucking large blackboard.
Yeah, give me like... give me like 5 gold.
And another 10 chalk.
Yeah, give me like, whatever, 5 gold.
The chalk had a price, so you can just direct me there.
I don't care enough, just...
Okay, so in total I spent 11 GP.
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, immediately like toss aside my bag, write the formula on the blackboard, and start just going at it.
Yeah. And that is the end of Qrudharkak's downtime. We took him down a peg.
Fucking hell, I should have been the smartest one!
No. Your little lizard brain. Can't even understand the bigger threes of this universe. Bigger things, not bigger
And
trees.
the formula is actually just E equals MC squared.
It might be. It might as well be. Who knows? Yeah. Thank you all for watching, and today we learned more about Qrudharkak. And furthered his plot a bit, I might say, yeah?
Yes, very much so.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm multi-classing into mathematician.
Awesome. Alright, thank you all for watching. We hope to see you next time on maybe a downtime or the actual session. Peace!
Bye.